So we got the movie Shortcomings is an adult dramatic comedy romantic narrative relationship movie about Asians and their relationships. However, it's also about finding yourself, exploring who you are, what you want, and making difficult choices and learning from those mistakes. Also, how that affects the people around you as well as yourself. It appeared at Sundance Film Festival, and Randall Park makes his directorial debut. Now, if you don't know who that name is, he played one of the Marvel characters, especially in the Ant-Man series, which I'll put a picture on screen right now for you to look at. It's based on a graphic novel by Adriana Tonia. I'm probably not saying that name right, so I do apologize. And Ben, who we follow in the movie, is married for 6 years. 6 years. Suddenly finds himself alone in Los Angeles after his wife travels to New York City for 3 months based on an internship in the movie. So this is where the movie takes place. Disclaimer, sort of. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. We are talking about another romantic relationship movie. I used to go to school to become a romantic relationship therapist, so marriage counselor, psychology degree, but I quit because I focus on YouTube, so I do have that background. I am a guy. I do like girls. If I see an attractive woman giving me signals, looking at me, I'll say hi to her. It doesn't matter. Starbucks, Whole Foods, Target, whatever, the mall, nightclub. The reason why I say this to you is because I want love to succeed. I have that background where I was going to school, but I quit because of YouTube. I want love to like preempt. I want them to win, because I know a lot of guys get stigmatized for romance. Oh, guys like romance, but he's not alpha, blah, blah, he's a beta, blah. No, so just letting you know, I do want romance to succeed, but I do want to be critical. And there's a lot of romance movies that I review on this review channel here on YouTube. A message to my younger audience though. I appreciate you, I love you, and I thank you so much. But honestly, just like other movies here, I don't feel like this might be catered towards you. It's in a slow adult, real life relationship conversation narrative. No, there's no car chases, there's no explosions. Not to say that you cannot enjoy this. You absolutely could. But I just feel like people even younger than me left the theater halfway through, and I stayed because I love seeing the real life depiction, especially Asian representation in the culture defining settings of a movie. So just letting you know, I like you, appreciate you guys. Of course, if you want to be interested, then yeah, because when I was at a young age, I did like romance movies, but that's just me. Everyone's a little bit different, so I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, if you're younger, and there's some of you that are younger mine, is this probably won't be towards you, because unless you're at that mature level, or maybe you're interested because you're Asian, you know, and you like romance, and maybe you're getting up there, or you're on the cusp level, so this review might help you out. It's a perfect movie if you like Crazy Rich Asians, Past Lives, and Marriage Story. When I was watching Shortcomings in a theater, those are the top 3 that pop into my head. It has some similar tones and themes, and also some structurally sounding as well, but at the same time puts its own different twist to it because it's a little bit shorter and it's not as bombastic as the other ones. But still, you'll appreciate it if you like those movies. It's literally about people talking, real life conversations, conflicts, and scenes. However, I never shook up the feeling where it's one of those movies where I felt like when you're watching it, it makes you feel like you don't know what you have until you lost it, or maybe you were never really happy in your current relationship. You're trying to explore other things as well, like maybe seeing other people or doing things in the DL, maybe considering cheating or divorcing or breaking up. So these are things that I was thinking about when I was watching the movie. However, Ben, which is the main character, tension starts to rise as Miku, which is the wife that's in New York, doesn't respond to his phone calls, and that's where the movie really starts ramping up. So after a while, he starts talking to her, he starts calling, he's like, hey, I think we need to talk, I miss you, and then she's ignoring his calls, you know, she's having a good time over there in the internship. So this is where the movie takes place. Ben, as a character, feels like he's mostly negative about a lot of things. He's self-sabotaging, feels like he destroys everything around him because of his political views based on relationships. He wants things to be different. He idolizes things that are not happening in his life. He wants reality to be different what it is, and he doesn't want to accept what's in front of him. He works in a movie theater, and movies play a big part in this movie, aka, not pun intended, but basically it's another love letter to movies. There's a lot of cinema involved, a lot of talking involved. He basically works at a movie theater in this movie, married to his wife in a condo in Los Angeles, trying to like find himself basically. And when I say find himself, it's weird because he's already married. The movie quickly realizes there's a lot of things missing that he wants, that he's searching for. I can see people real life having like him in relationships and gentrification, but I feel like he's overcritical and hypercritical and cynical about a lot of things. Like, he loves white women, he idolizes white men. I feel like in the movie, he wouldn't want to be married to an Asian girl, and he wants to explore white men. He's like, oh my gosh, like based on when he's growing up, he wants to be with somebody else, it feels like. So we explore that as that tackles in the conflict of his current marriage, because he does have white women that come to the movie theaters, that are trying to get a new job. He talks to white women everywhere, he goes to the parties, you know, he's not a bad looking guy. I just feel like his vibe isn't there, and it's not so much where I don't like the character, which I do like the character, but I just feel like I'm not that negative. I'm not that like down on myself. However, maybe things didn't go well for his life. Maybe his marriage has come to a halt. Maybe there's no spark anymore. Maybe there's missing some sexual stuff, some tension. I don't know, you know, his relationship maybe with his current wife after 6 years, if there's nothing new, I mean, come on, you can't stop doing the thing that got you the girl or the guy in the first place. Like, it's just bizarre to me. Like, oh, once you think the courtship never ends. Like, as a guy, like if I get a girl and she's my girlfriend and she's my wife, I would never, hopefully it would never relationship go to stale mode. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, I still gotta take her out. I still gotta take her on dates. Like, you don't just stop just because you're married. No, like, maybe that could be missing in the movie theater, you know, or maybe that could be missing in the movie with Ben. I had no idea or interest this movie was coming out. Way too many movies coming out right now, which is a good thing. However, I don't watch trailers on this channel, and so 10 seconds in to watching this first trailer, I bought my ticket, and I'm so glad that I did, because these are characters that are three-dimensional, complex, and it's also a good representation of Asians, but anyone could see themselves up there. Yes, of course, most of the cast is Asians, and that's awesome because I'm half Asian myself. We have Japanese, we have Koreans. I don't know if we have a Chinese in here, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it's amazing to see like people like me in a big movie in theaters. You know what I mean? So that's why I really wanted to cover it. I'm like, oh, cool. And there's some comedy sketch as well. However, talking about comedy, his best friend Alice provides the comedic relief in the movie. Yeah, it's like their standard friendship. And I love how the movie didn't deviate from that. Straight platonic, of course. You know me. I love romance. I love like being the naughty things. But I'm glad the movie just took it to the friendship level, because sometimes you just need that friend. You don't always need to be romancing all your friends. I mean, I have friends that are girls that I would want to romance and be inside of and be married and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there are some friends that are girls and I'm just like, yep, you're just a friend to me. Like, I do not look at you like that. So I'm glad the movie did that, because not every friendship needs to turn into romance. And I love how she provided the backbone, also providing her own struggles with relationships as well. She's a lesbian. She's trying to do a lot of one-night stands. And then at the end of the movie, maybe she finds a potential partner. It could be a guy, could be a girl. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. Otherwise, you won't watch the movie. But one thing that I really love about this movie is Miko. Miko, his relationship with his wife, you see how it evolves throughout the first, throughout the first scene all the way until the end. And sometimes you could understand if you've ever been in love, if you're young in love, if you're being married, if you're not happy with your marriage. Some of these moments with Miko with his wife is some of the most heartbreaking in real life depiction of like relationships that I've been in, the fighting or the constant arguing, the love affair too. It's like even the good times that they have. Like, this is a real life relationship movie in like a big context. It doesn't go as overboard or fancy like Crazy Rich Asians, and it doesn't go as like heartbreaking, heartbreaking, or like Marriage Story, but it just walks that fine line in between those movies. It's not an easy watch sometimes, although I do love like Love and Marriage Story, but it doesn't go as to those lows or those highs. It's still a nice time at the theaters, but just know that this is a movie that it's not like it. Yes, it's happy, but it's more real life, emotional, heartbreaking. That's all I can say without ruining story. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this a B, and I did have a good time with this. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care. Bye.